popcorn and candy.
Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Popcorn and Candy. Today's episode, we're going to look over the new movie Those Who Wish Me Dead, featuring Angelina Jolie and Nicholas Hoult. Is this movie worth watching? Is it something that is worthy of your time? And is Angelina Jolie doing something new, interesting, or even worthwhile? Stick around and find out. So, the basic premise of this movie is Angelina Jolie works in a forest, comes across a little boy in need of help, and she's going to do just that. Very simple concept, yet it's one of those things that, with the trailer, it definitely does get your attention, but does it really execute? Overall, I'm going to say that this movie gets a solid 6 out of 10 for me. It's one of those movies that you're not mad that you watched it. You definitely won't be running back to watch it. Angelina Jolie is a fantastic actress. For those of you who are not familiar with her acting chops, she's been around for quite some time and has done a sensational amount of great work. She's been in movies such as Tomb Raider. She's been in Maleficent. She was in Gone in 60 Seconds. She was even in Girl Interrupted. So she has quite a long list of movies that she's done, and she's definitely a fantastic actress. Angelina Jolie's character is one who is a fire jumper, someone who jumps out of planes in order to fight fires, and has recently been through a very serious trauma and is currently dealing with that. Nothing terribly unique. Angelina does do a decent job of portraying this. Early on in the movie, you do see that she is someone who is fighting with her demons and trying to just make sense of the world that she's in. Definitely fighting with the guilt that she has over those that she lost. And as the movie progresses, you do see her handling it and coming to terms with some of the problems that came about. One of the highlights for me was the two assassin characters, Aidan Gillen on the left and Nicholas Hoult on the right. Both actors have done very well over the years, and in this movie, they're doing a fantastic job in just showing you that these assassins aren't just your trope, oh, they can do whatever, oh, they have all the means. They're smart, they're calculating, they know what they're doing, they know how to get their job done, and you can definitely see that they are a legitimate threat and not just something that's hyped up or overused just to force the movie forward. They're both very mortal, they're both very real in the sense that as the movie continues, things like injuries aren't something they just kind of shake off or are just whatever about. They're human. They're just good at what they do. So it definitely was refreshing to see these two characters portraying something that can be very boring or very stereotypical in a new type of light. One of the downsides for me was definitely the dynamic between Angelina Jolie's character Hannah and the little boy Connor, played by Finn Little. Now, this isn't a critique on Finn Little. Overall, young man did a great job. I look forward to seeing him grow as an actor. But just his character, I understand he's a kid, but he's very whiny, very, he doesn't feel like he contributes that much to the story. His father tells him, find someone you trust, and literally the first person he comes across being Angelina Jolie's character, he says, are you someone I can trust? It just felt very, convenient. The other thing which just kind of annoyed me, Angelina Jolie trying to relate to the kid and help the kid out, calls him buddy. And then the kid gets emotional and he's like, my dad called me buddy. Like, geez, kid. He called you by your name too. Like, if she called you Connor, you're going to get emotional. It was just one of those things where it just felt like they were trying to force some emotion out of the actor, trying to show that he did miss his father. And instead it came off more as like annoying and unnecessary. You can imagine that any kid losing their parent, especially so recently, is going to be distraught. Throwing out those lines just feels forced and unnecessary, especially in a movie like this. One of the other things that definitely bothered me with this movie was just the sheer amount of convenience. At one point, our assassins pull up to the side of a road ahead of the protagonist and his son, and they set up in order to fire on him. And then not too long after, well, guess what? Here he comes. And they manage to run him off the road and kill the father. Okay. But then right after that, innocent lady comes by. Now, she gets a pass because she has nothing really to do with the movie other than that she just happens to be an innocent bystander. But then not long after that, the sheriff drives by. Wait, not just any sheriff, the sheriff who happens to be related to the main character. I mean, is there any other roads in this city, in this town, in this state that everyone happens to be on the same one? That just bothered the heck out of me. Another thing, just randomly, I don't know why, but hey, Tyler Perry's in this movie. And as quickly as I mentioned it, that's how quick his cameo, literally is the way I saw it, is in this movie. He comes in, says 2 or 3 lines, leaves, that's it. What does he contribute? Not much. But hey, it's nice to see him outside of one of his own movies, so I'll give him a thumbs up for that. One of the other things that just was really, could have been so much better, we're going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory here, was the lightning scene, as I called it. There's a huge storm happening. Angelina Jolie has to cross a huge field with the boy in her care, Finn Little. And as they're getting ready to cross, they're doing this pattern, which I would imagine is something Angelina's trained for, and how to run, stop, and there's lightning all over the place. And at one point, one of the lightning bolts almost hits her, blows her off the ground. Little boy runs after her. Everything seems to be really crazy, really just tense. But hey, the lightning suddenly stopped. Like, how convenient is that? I'm a huge fan of a YouTube channel called Cinema Sins, where they always are critiquing, convenient or tropes in movies. And I could immediately hear the Cinema Sins guy saying, convenient lightning is convenient. It just happens to be an issue until it's no longer needed to be an issue. It just kind of forced the plot forward. Had they kind of continued the lightning until they got out of the field, it just would have made that scene that much more believable and intense, instead of like, hey, a main character almost died, cut the lightning, we don't need it anymore. So definitely something that kind of took me out of the storytelling element. Just felt like this movie was less realistic than it could have been. So overall, like I said earlier, 6 out of 10 on this movie. Just one of those where I'm not mad that I watched it, and you definitely should at least give it a shot. Angelina Jolie is a fantastic actress, and she does a great job in this movie. Nicholas Hoult, Aidan Gillen as the assassins, definitely entertaining and worthwhile. Loved seeing that dynamic. Finn Little, excellent job, young man. I look forward to seeing more of his work as the years go by. And Jon Bernthal, someone I forgot to mention earlier in this video. He's been in The Walking Dead. He did the Punisher TV show. He's done a lot of good work, and he was really good in this movie too. So definitely a movie you should watch. Definitely something that's at least worth the hour-and-a-half runtime that it has. And something that, like I said, I don't regret watching. I'm sure you won't regret. And I look forward to just seeing what you think of the movie. So that's going to be today's episode of Popcorn and Candy, guys. I thank you so much for tuning in again. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie, what you think of it. Let me know what your favorite Angelina Jolie movie is. I'm a huge fan of hers. I've been following her for years. And like I said, her list of movies is just huge. So if there's any movie that you think is definitely worth a little more attention that maybe we can discuss on another episode of Popcorn and Candy, put that in the comments as well. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. You can also follow me on Brandon with 2 N's at Twitter. I'm going to start working on just putting more content on there to let you guys know what's incoming. And also just interact with you guys more. And hopefully this channel gets going. Thanks so much again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.